Now I would like to turn to our main topic for today, a much more uplifting one, to say the least. As you have entered the State House this week, you may have noticed that the American and New Jersey flags are flying at full staff for the first time in a full month. From August 4th till September 4th, those flags were lowered in honor of our late Lieutenant Governor, Sheila Way, my partner in government, and one of the finest public servants our state has ever known. During these past weeks of mourning and remembrance, I've heard the same sentiment expressed by New Jerseyans up and down our state. It is a sentiment I not only share, but I consider as a call to action. And that is this: with Sheila gone, it is now our turn to keep her legacy alive, to continue working together as one New Jersey family, bless you, to build a stronger, fairer state for every family, and to be a champion, as Sheila was, for the voiceless, for the underserved, and for the communities that have historically been left behind. So today, with our flags flying high, I am proud to announce that I have selected a proven public servant with a superb record of accomplishments to join me in finishing the job that Sheila and I started. Today, it is my incredible honor to introduce New Jersey's next Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of State, Tahesha Way. Tahesha, congratulations. Please. Come on in. Come on in. I just asked Tahesha if I got the Leela part right, because I've never introduced her with her middle name. And right off the bat, let me say there is no better person for this job. Educated, high school in the Bronx, Brown University undergrad, University of Virginia Law School, wahoo wah. As New Jersey's Secretary of State, Tahesha has been a vital member of our administration since day one. But long before she joined our team, Tahesha had already dedicated every ounce of herself to serving our state's families. And what Tahesha has demonstrated, and I might add time and again, is that she can handle the single most important responsibility of any lieutenant governor, and that is being ready to step in and serve as governor if needed. She is brilliant, she is battle-tested, and she represents the very best of New Jersey. Tammy and I have had the pleasure of knowing Tahesha and her husband Charles, who's with us today. More on him in a moment. They met, by the way, at the University of Virginia. We've known them for many years, since, in fact, before my time in the governor's office, thanks to Chairman John Curry, I might add, who's with us today. And let me tell you that she is as wonderful a person as she is a public servant. Warm, passionate, principled, and guided by the honest belief that hard work and perseverance can lead you anywhere. That belief was instilled in Tahesha at a young age by her late parents, who were public servants in their own right, as employees with the New York City Transit Authority. Her mom, Rosa, was a railroad clerk, and her dad, Robert, was a bus operator. And over the course of her career, Tahesha has worked day and night to support the millions of New Jerseyans who share her parents' story, our neighbors who work the long hours every day to move our state forward, and who ask for nothing more than a fair shake. Now, as I mentioned, one of the most important qualities in a lieutenant governor is not only having the ability to lead, but having an ample track record as a leader. Well, this is just one of Tahesha's many strengths: experience. Like Sheila, she has served at nearly every level of our state's government, from the Passaic County Board of Chosen Freeholders, where she also served as its director, to the New Jersey Highlands Water Protection and Planning Council, and to our own judiciary as an administrative law judge. And I want to take this moment to acknowledge and thank Chief Justice Stu Rabner, who's with us today to preside over the swearing-in of the Lieutenant Governor. Thank you for being here, Chief. And during her time as Secretary of State, Tahesha has set a new and high standard for defending democracy, both in New Jersey, but I might add also across the nation. As president of the National Association of Secretaries of State, Tahesha has inspired election officials across the country to expand access to the ballot box and ensure that every eligible American can participate in our democratic process. She's also thrived in that position under the most challenging circumstances you could possibly imagine. In the face of a once-in-a-century pandemic, along with a relentless assault on our democracy, Tahesha went above and beyond to secure our election system here in New Jersey. And under her watch, we saw a record number of New Jerseyans vote in the 2020 election. That's an astonishing feat, considering it was the first major election conducted almost entirely by mail. So Tahesha turned that unprecedented challenge into a critical opportunity. She seized the moment to help more New Jerseyans than ever turn out and exercise their most fundamental right. That is the definition of leadership. And during the same period, Tahesha also demonstrated her leadership abilities with the 2020 census. As chair of New Jersey's Complete Count Commission, a nonpartisan body, I might add, she worked to ensure that every one of our residents was counted. And thanks to her efforts, our state retained full representation in Congress, which has had a direct and positive impact on securing federal funding to address our state's needs. And I cannot understate the importance of that point. Diane and I were together a couple of days ago in Long Branch celebrating $425 million of incremental federal support that comes to those who are prepared, to those who have a full count, and that was all led by Tahesha. And Tahesha has also done, I feel like this is the Ginsu knife commercial, you know. But wait, Tahesha has also done a tremendous job in delivering on one of her core responsibilities as Secretary of State, and that is advocating for our state's cultural and historic treasures, as well as promoting tourism in every region of New Jersey. In fact, with her team's help, New Jersey's tourism industry is expected to generate nearly $48 billion in economic activity during this year alone. That is a record high haul. And our tourism economy is booming in no small part because of Tahesha's leadership. And that leadership was on full display just a couple of weeks ago when Tahesha joined me in Somerville to settle a long simmering debate here in the Garden State. The two of us stood together to declare once and for all that Central Jersey exists, period. Amen. So clearly, this woman is not one to shy away from controversial topics. She takes a stand. And together, our administration will remain laser-focused on our top priorities, from making life more affordable for every New Jerseyan, to defending our fundamental freedoms, to keeping our families and communities safe. So once again, I am incredibly honored and humbled to reintroduce Tahesha to the people of New Jersey, and I cannot wait for everyone to get to know her, her husband Charles, who's with us today, as I mentioned. They have 4 extraordinary daughters, Fallon, Farah, Faith, and Fiona. All but Faith are with us today. Ladies, it's great to have you with us. Please give your sister our best. And we also are honored to have Charles's mom, Jacqueline, with us today. Honored to have you, ma'am. So one other little fun fact, if you don't know it, Charles, I'm just looking at the members of the press out here in particular. This is for you all. Charles played football for the New York Football Giants. I'm considering asking him as a public service to join me at all of my future press conferences. Charles, thank you for consideration there. So please, everybody back there on your best behavior. But in all seriousness, please join me in welcoming our state's only 3rd Lieutenant Governor of the great state of New Jersey, from Wayne, New Jersey, our very own Tahesha Way. Tahesha.
Good morning. The Gov gave an accurate recitation of my life. And there are no words that can adequately express what I am feeling at this moment. But let me start by simply saying, to the one and only great governor of the state of New Jersey, thank you, Governor Murphy. Let's show him some love. I truly thank you and our phenomenal First Lady, Tammy Murphy. Can we please show her some love too? Yes, for placing your trust in me to serve as the third Lieutenant Governor of the greatest state in our nation. And I say that, of course, without an ounce of bias. And just as importantly, I would like to thank every single one of our state's 9.3 million residents. You see, ever since I was first elected to public office as a freeholder in Passaic County, which I am proud to call my home, I have been on a journey of a lifetime. In every position I have held, from my days as a state judge and my current role as Secretary of State, the people of New Jersey have graced me with the opportunity to serve. You have placed your faith in me, and in doing so, you have allowed me to join our great governor in building a stronger and fairer state for every New Jerseyan. Like my own late parents, you work every day to keep our state and country moving forward. And on that note, I would like to take this chance to thank several individuals without whom there would be no me. First, as I know, my mom, Rosa, and my dad, Robert, are here with us in spirit. They taught me to always work hard, to be tough yet respectful, and to just be present as I dedicate myself to enriching my community. And that is a lesson I am reminded of every day by my husband, Charles. Charles, you have always coached me up to be the best version of myself. And you have shared with me the blessings of raising the best 4 daughters I could ever ask for, even though they think I only graduated from kindergarten. So, to Fallon, Farrah, Faith, and Fiona, I am grateful for the many things in this life, but the 4 of you are the greatest gift of all. I also want to thank my mother-in-law for being that surrogate mom to us all. I would be remiss not to thank Passaic County Chairman John Curry, who took the chance on a little girl almost 20 years ago and brought me into this governmental space and underscored the core value of putting the people first. Moreover, I would like to thank my cabinet colleagues. Each of you inspire me with your respective work, and I could never, ever forget my leadership team at the Department of State. That is Jay Boone, that is Lauren Enriquez, Corey Wolkenberg, Joe Forte, and Elizabeth Volk, who work collaboratively, diligently, day in and day out to carry out the governor's mission. Finally, I want to thank one more person who, like my parents, is here with us in spirit, and that is our late Lieutenant Governor, Sheila Oliver. To me, Sheila was more than a trusted colleague. She was a cherished friend, mentor, and a role model to the countless amount of Black women and women who have chosen a career in public service. And now, as Lieutenant Governor, I will have the solemn honor of building upon her towering legacy. So I submit this promise to the people of New Jersey, like Sheila. I will dedicate every day to fight for the forgotten families of our state. I will do everything to ensure no parent will have to suffer the indignity of choosing between putting food on the table or keeping a roof over their child's head. I will protect our fundamental freedom so every resident of our state can make their own health care decisions, access affordable higher education, or simply marry who they love and live as who they are in their hearts. And of course, I will make certain that New Jersey remains the best and safest state to raise a family. Over the past 5+ years, I have truly had the distinct privilege, thanks to Governor Murphy, of serving as New Jersey's 34th Secretary of State. And my top priority since day one has been making our democracy healthy and accessible for all of our residents. Well, together, as Governor Murphy noted, we have exceeded our wildest expectations. We inspired a record number of New Jerseyans to vote, like we saw in the last presidential election, and collectively, we have strengthened our electoral system and made our democracy process more open to every eligible voter. So, we have made historic progress, but our work is far from over. That is why I am so excited to assume the role of Lieutenant Governor and continue in my role as Secretary of State. I know our greatest accomplishments are yet to come. And in closing, while today marks a new beginning for the Garden State, we will be guided by the same New Jersey values that have guided us since the very beginning of this administration: freedom, fairness, and equal justice for all. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. That was really well done. You want to save your remarks?